Hello. I'm just making almond milk. In fact, I've done most of it because a lot of it is a time-consuming thing of soaking. So when you're making almond milk, and let me just tell you, it is so easy to make in your Thermomix, and it's delicious. And there's no additives and preservatives, and it's going to be a lot cheaper than buying it in the shops. And no packaging, even better. But what you need to do first is you need to soak your almonds. And what I have done, I've blitzed them, I've soaked them and everything. But I had them sitting in a bowl covered with water. It tells you 220 grams of the recipe on cookie dough, and it says 660 grams of water. And what it says is to soak them for an hour. Well, mine was soaking for 24 hours because too much noise last night, and I do believe they should soak a bit longer. But in the recipe, cookie dough recipe, it says put all of that into the bowl. Well, from my point of view, you're soaking them to get rid of the phytates. And if you have a look, I don't know if you can see this on here. Can you see that little scum mark there? That is left for some of the brown that came out of the water. I mean, they were, they weren't blanched almonds or anything like that. So they were whole almonds. And so I don't put that water in. I don't want to blitz it. I don't want to drink that. So I drain it in the wonderful simmering basket. Love my simmering basket for draining things. And then after you've drained it, pop it into, you put the almonds into the moist almonds, drained almonds into your bowl. Sorry, it's good. It's a bit tired. Poor brain's a bit tired. And then puts water in. Now it says 660. I think I put a bit more. I've just guessed because I've made almond milk a lot. But then the next thing is you need a nut milk bag. Oops, wrong way around. Nut milk bag. Okay, you can get nut milk bags in the mix shop. And a great tip I was taught many years ago is use it inside out. You can see the labels actually here on the outside. You want that outside because if you have this inside, all your little bits and pieces are going to get caught around here. Much easier to wash if it's inside out. So your seams are on the outside is what I'm saying. And all I do is put it over my bowl like that. Ooh, yum. And you'll see, I'm just going to pour this in. And I think I've probably gone overboard with the water because I think that's more than I normally make. Anyway, and then all it's a question of doing is holding this up and squeezing the liquid out. Now, can you see that? That is your almond milk. Be careful, you've got a whole thing got some going over the edge of the bowl. So it's a little bit messy, but I'm only doing it with one hand so I can actually stop the computer in a minute. But you just keep squeezing until you've got all the liquid out. So I would be better off doing it with two hands, and I will go on to that in a minute. But just want you to know that that is how you do it. And once you've got all that liquid out, you do not throw out the pulp. All right, so what I do is I actually save the pulp until I've got a reasonable amount and I freeze it, or I might freeze it in small batches. Just going to put this up so I can actually see you. Oh, I think I've got almond milk all over my screen. I've got it everywhere. All right, so the pulp can be used. There's a whole collection of recipes in, low waste recipes in cookie dough. All right, where you actually use your almond pulp. And one of my favorites is the tomato galette. And if you I use this pastry and then use the Mediterranean galette, which you use with the cutter, and it is absolutely fantastic. So my almond milk, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to use it in, I think you may have seen, I made the ginger and turmeric paste. So I can make a turmeric latte, and I'm going to use the almond milk because the almond milk's just a bit thicker. It's just really nurturing, and it's a really lovely thing to have over winter. So that's what I'm going to use it for. We also use it in smoothies. You can make porridge. I'll tell you, if you make porridge out of this, hardly any cleaning of the bowl. It's just fantastic. Yeah, so all sorts of things you can use it is with, and as I said, do not throw that pulp out. There's plenty of ways you can use that too. So that can go into cookies, it can go into, you know, baking things, it can, and I said, this pastry, the almond crust pastry is absolutely delicious. So look out for it, and love to know what you think of your almond milk. Oh, so in the recipe, the almond milk says add vanilla and add a date for sweetness. You don't need anything of that. Well, you can use it, of course, but no, mine is just almonds and water. Okay.